Hey Rotobar's doing well, and welcome back to a new video. So this workout was really short, and I actually took a bit of a nap before I did this one just because I didn't really have much motivation to do it. But thankfully, because it was super late, I didn't really need much motivation to do it. So they were originally going to be block power snatches. I just did hang power snatches just because why would I set up the blocks to do 80 kilos, because that's really inconvenient. But I also have been kind of liking adding in the high hang snatches, or high hang power snatches in this case. So those all went quite well. On some of the later sets I try to do them more like a touch and go, which is certainly more difficult, but something I'll kind of play around with on some of these light days since it's not really that stressful to do 80 kilo snatches. After that I had what was originally power position cleans, but I changed them to be hang power cleans. And a lot of these changes I don't change in the app because 80 kilos from the blocks or 80 kilos from the hang isn't going to be that big of a deal in the snatch. And same with doing a power clean at what 102 kilos versus doing a full clean isn't really going to be that different of stress. But I did add in the closest that I could get in to what I did after I did the power cleans, which were just push jerks. Those aren't technically in the app, but I just put them in as power jerks because it's basically the same thing. The only difference between those two movements is with the push jerk, you're not moving your feet, but essentially it is the same movement, a power jerk. All push jerks are power jerks, but not all power jerks are push jerks, if that makes sense. But I did them all at 102, so I did a hang power clean and a push jerk, just to get a little extra jerk work in, and because, it was just light, so I threw that into the app. It wasn't anything that's too stressful. But after I did that, that was the main movement, so it was just accessory work after. And I just chose to do one accessory work, which I actually am going to be showing at the end, which were handstands. I've done these now a couple times. So the first couple times I did them on a wall in my bedroom just to see how comfortable the position was, if there was any sort of discomfort in being in that position. They are difficult, but they weren't terribly uncomfortable. Now you'll see when I get into the position to do them, I am not vertical. There's a couple reasons for that. One, if you notice the wall behind me, it does angle up, so if I were to get straight vertical to it, it'd be pretty difficult to maintain my balance because the wall, I'm just too tall for that part of the wall. If I were to use the shelf on the other side, it's not a flat surface, so it's certainly making it more difficult. And there's also the factor that I'm quite scared of handstands, at least being completely vertical with them, and it's much more comfortable to be kind of at a more controlled angle, kind of how I did on the first set. On the second set, I try to get a little bit more upright, but what I do kind of like with them is in both of the positions, whether I was a little bit lower on the first set or higher on the second one, I liked how my torso looked, because I was worried, and this is one of the reasons I wanted to film it, that because I wasn't vertical, that all of the force would make my body kind of look in a normal overhead position, but it actually kind of did. Now obviously the forces are going to be pushing not directly down because I'm not directly vertical, but that's just something that I'm not going to be able to do because I do get a pretty good stimulus. It does, it's a good stabilization movement. So I'm going to keep trying to add them in. I don't know how frequently I'll do them because I'll basically only do them at the shed or in my bedroom because there's pretty limited spaces I could do them. Thinking at the gym, I could probably find a space to do them, but it would just be too inconvenient to do them there. But I typically, like for most accessory work, I don't typically record them, but besides that, after I get this video edited, I'm going to be doing a good amount of stretching because I have a lot of time because the workout went really quick and I've eaten a bunch of food, so I'm pretty ahead on everything I need to do before I go to bed. So I do want to get some stretching in. Thankfully, today was an easy day. Tomorrow is technically an off day. I don't know if I'll actually train tomorrow or not. I may actually just go to the gym and do a day how I used to do in the past, where I would, before a heavy day, I would like to go and just do a day where I do power snatches and power cleans. So I may do a day like that. We'll see. But that's it for this one. Hope you all have a great day, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Peace.